Hey everyone, welcome back to Sound Like a Local, your weekly dose of real life American English. I am your host, Leo, and today we are tackling a sound that often separates a good English speaker from someone who truly sounds American. It's the tricky little R sound we're talking about here. You know, in many languages around the world, the R sound is often rolled, like in Spanish or Italian, or it's a very soft, almost swallowed sound like in some British accents also. And if you've learned English that way, that's fine, totally fine. But if your goal is to truly sound American, that R is going to be one of the biggest clues. And it's probably not what you think. The American R. This isn't rolled from the front of your tongue and it's not super soft. It's actually pretty tight. Bunched up sound. Imagine your tongue pulling back and bunching up in the middle of your mouth, like it's trying to hide. It almost feels like a little tense. It doesn't touch the roof of your mouth or flap quickly. Let's try to feel this. Just make a long continuous R sound. Er. Hear your tongue? It should be pulling back and kind of tightening. If it's a flapping forward, and that's not American R. Okay, so let's put this R into some common words and we're gonna practice this along this podcast. We'll start with words where the R is at the end, as this is often where magic happens and where it sounds most difficult. Let's take the word car, for example. If you say it without a strong American R, it might sound a bit like ka, but with the American R, it's car. That R is really present, pulling the sound back. Try it with me. Car, car. You feel that pull in your tongue? Another one is teacher. It is not teacher, as in British English. It's teacher. That final is a classic American R sound. Teacher. Remember that bunched up tongue? It's like you're trying to whisper the R, but with a lot of pressure from the back of your tongue. Now, let's look at the R sounds within words, especially after a vowel. Think about world. This word is a real tongue twister for many. And it's not world, like it's a way of pronouncing it. You need to get the R in there. World, world. What I usually like to recommend to my students is try having these two words together. You think of were and old. You connect these two words and it becomes were old. World, 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 world. You keep repeating that. So then you exercise your tongue movements, let's say. Another word we have is first. It's not first or first. It's first, first, first. Okay? That combo is another spot for our distinct R. And when the R starts a word, it's just as strong as it is in the end. So right and not height, not light also. You gotta have it clear and strong, like right, right. So why is this R so important for American accent? Because it's everywhere, really. Unlike some other accents that drop the R at the end of the words or before consonants, American English generally pronounces all its R's. And it pronounces them this specific in a bunched up way. Mastering it will really make your speech sound more authentic and natural. I know that this can be a problem for one to change, especially if your native language has a different R sound, but it's totally achievable with consistent practice. And here are my top tips for practicing that tricky American R. Isolate the sound. You start by just making the R sound on its own. Er, er, You feel your tongue? Is it pulling back? Is it tense in the middle? Record yourself and listen back. It shouldn't be that complicated, really. Minimal pairs. You want to practice words that are very similar but they differ only by the R sound. This forces your mouth to focus on that specific change. For example, the words light and right, rock, walk, free, and flee. You also want to have contextual practice. In other words, shadowing. Just like we talked about with Lincoln, shadowing is your secret weapon. Find short audio clips of Native American speakers. Listen to how they say words with R. Pause it and try to perfectly mimic their pronunciation. Movies and TV shows are fantastic for this, especially if you learn with them. Don't get discouraged if it feels awkward at first. Your mouth muscles might not be used to this particular movement. It takes repetition, I'm not gonna lie. And sometimes it takes a while for the muscle memory to kick in. But remember, learning the language is developing a different part of your brain. It's like working your muscle out. So every time you consciously try to make that American R, you're one step closer to sounding truly local. Alright, so that's our deep dive into the American R sound for this episode of Sound Like a Local. I hope this has brought some clarity to this often misunderstood sound and gave you some of the clear steps to practice. If you found this episode helpful, please make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss anything in our next episodes, next classes, all right? I'd love to hear from you guys. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can have my username right here is Dreyer, my lord, where I teach you how to speak real life American English. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget, keep practicing, keep listening, and keep speaking real English. I'll catch you guys next time.